I used to struggle with watercolor, but in just 500 days, I went from beginner to pro, and all while working a full time job. Sounds impossible, right? It's not. In this video, I will share the exact step I took to master watercolor and how you can do the same, even with your busy schedule. What if I told you that all starts with how you wake up in the morning, and that there are small, simple steps you can start taking today that will enable you to become a person you need to be, create the level of success you truly want, and that is for every area of your life. I was passionate about learning watercolor and I truly wanted to become a pro into this medium. But my 9 to 5 job was a big obstacle to achieve that. I couldn't even afford to quit my job because that might put me in a financial setback. To overcome this issue, I have planned 3 trial strategy to get time to paint. My first strategy was I will paint while commuting to my office. That's the idea. It's absolutely got failed because a lot of distraction while I was commuting to my office. My office was quite far from my place, and there's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of honking. There's a lot of people around me, and that is basically didn't work out even if I wanted to make this success. But I absolutely find that it's nearly impossible. So another thing was like even when you go, let's say if you are traveling in the metro. I mean that didn't happen to me because I was not traveling in the metro. But if you sketch something, the people will come to you. They'll I mean, you'll find them. They're curious. They just wanted to see what you are doing and all that. They'll start talking to you, and this is kind of it's good, but it's kind of a distraction as well. So that didn't work out for me. So I just ruled out the number one strategy. Then I came to strategy number two, and that was I will paint in weekends. That I also found it absolutely bad idea because I started realizing that after working in a few weekends, I realized that I was not able to give my time to my family, my kid, and my friends, and it was like, oh no, I mean this is not the way. This is not the way I want. So this is exactly I've taken the very conscious decision that no, this is not going to help. So I left with number three strategy, and that was I will wake up in the early morning to get some time for me. It was a me time. If you have not seen my previous video, I would encourage you after this, watch that video. That will give you a kind of the insight that will help you to understand how you should get up, okay, what you should follow. I've already mentioned in my previous video that there was a book called Miracle Morning, the Miracle, the Miracle Morning, that actually changed my life. It was absolutely amazing book. I followed the exactly the way it is being given. I did a little bit of changes into this based on my setting and environment and all that. But actually that works. I found some quality time to do a little practice. Now, you will ask me, okay, so what exactly you are doing 5 a.m.? So what you are doing, how you are doing it. So here is the answer. This is the answer. So this is where I'll tell you, I mean, so what exactly how I was doing it. After waking up 5 a.m. and I know, I mean, it's very difficult for many people to wake up in early morning, 5 a.m., and even people who's actually going for sleeping in the night in a very late, it will be very difficult for them to follow this rule. But this book actually gives you that the understanding, gives you the insight, the value, why you should go for sleep and early and get up on a 5 p.m. I mean, I would encourage you to read that book. I'll give a link to this book in the description. Go and check that. You can buy one and read it, and I'm telling you it will be worth. And I'm sure this is a bestseller book, so I'm sure the author himself was in that condition where he wanted to have a quality time for himself, and it's a very wonderful story, right? So coming back to this, early morning I was doing a meditation. The first thing was, after washroom, I used to do deep meditation just for 5 minutes, and then I was reading my any book, only 2 or 3 pages, that's all. Okay, and then after this I was started with this. I mean, this is not exactly the book I'm talking about. This a 10 year, at least a 7 8 year back story. But this is the kind of the small journal I started with. I mean, I had a lot of them, which is there in other location. I will definitely share that also. So I mean, you can make something like this, a lot, many small thing, whatever you want to do, uh, sketching, whatever you want to do. I was waking up and I was just making sketches, something like this. This is my recent work, but I did a lot of sketches, working on these small work, these small the journaling, and I did a lot. And the reason why you should be doing this, because when you wake up early in the morning, and if you are going to take a big sheet of paper and you wanted to make a good art, so I'm telling you, it's not going to work. It's simply not going to work. First, you need to adopt your environment, adopt your habit, uh, develop. I mean, I'm sure you must have read several book. It's been written in this context. The Atomic Habit is one of the book also you can, and I'm sure there are a lot many people have, because that's a beautiful book. So this small habits, basically you never into this realm, and you wanted to start something which really you wanted to adopt that habit for a longer period of time. That if you wanted to become a person, if you wanted to learn art, if you wanted to acquire some knowledge, your cognitive mind itself will help you to find the creative way to get things. And this is the basically helped me. This really helped me to get this. I was made this. Now, how long I made this? I actually almost like in this total 1.5 year of my journey, I almost did at least 5 to 6 small journaling like this. Okay, I did like this, and then I moved to the smaller one. I moved the smaller this like half of this. So this is how this journal was basically. It's a half and a half, and basically I was improving it day by day, doing something like this, working on the smaller one and then little bigger one, and then eventually I moved to bigger journaling, something like this. Let me just show you this. So this is where I've started. I mean, so these are all my recent work, but this is how basically I've started. I've started working on such kind of a work, small work which was not taking so much of my time. I was hardly spending 15 to 20 minutes of my time, because after that I had no time to continue doing this, because I have to go to my office. I have to go to my work. So it's quite impossible to make on a bigger sheet of paper, right? So basically, this is how basically I moved from one to another. Like there's several things I did, something like this, sketches, wherever it is. So I just move it from there. That was This is what exactly I was working early in the morning. Okay. Now the question is, how should be your approach? So here is the setup. I'm taking you to my entire journey, how I have started practice from this to this, and then actually I move even more bigger level of this. Probably I'll make another video, but in this video, I'm just going to show you how exactly I was doing it, what practice, how I was exactly, what kind of a shape or the object I was working on. So starting with this, as you see here, I was just doing a simple sketch and filling a very simple. Let's in this example, I'm just showing you this. It's a hut. Okay, it was hut. I mean, I'm sure that time I was not even able to create something like this, draw something like this, but fairly I was doing something close by. Okay, what exactly I was doing it? I was just taking color. Let's take an example of this. Very quickly, I just wanted to give you this. Something like this, I was doing it. And if I'm just telling you this, I'm also giving you an idea that when you're trying to learn watercolor, then probably you need to just put your little effort doing something like this. The idea here is to setting this tutorial is basically for you to learn this medium, and it's not necessarily that it should be exactly the way it is. You can choose your own way to do this, but this is what exactly I was just doing. So I was just filling color like this, very random. Exactly, I was just doing like this. Okay, and the way I'm just putting my color here like this, I was doing not exactly like this, not something like this, nothing like this. I was not doing like this, and that's why I got a pace, I got looseness in my watercolor over the period of time. Okay, now for tree, I was just, my favorite color was sap green and this olive green. This two color was my favorite. I was just simply doing like this. Yeah, I hope you're getting me. Like this. It was kind of a journaling. It was, I know, I mean, I was not happy with this, but I was kind of satisfied with the way I was just doing it. I was getting a time for me to paint was more important, rather than making a beautiful artwork. So that was the beautiful the insight I had. So like this, exactly, I was just doing like this, and I can recall that moment. when I was doing all of this, okay, something like this, and that's all. I was happy. I was so happy that I was able to paint something like this. It's all it, and it was taking like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of my time. When it got dried, then probably I was just putting a little more patches here and there. But I started doing something like this, and I just created something like this in this tiny paper for almost, I would say, 2 3 months. I just made it almost like a 2.5 or 3 months. I made it something like this before I jump into the bigger sheet of paper, because I realized that okay, I mean, I got it, and now I have to move in another paper, because maintaining the color, the overall composition, it's so important when you are a beginner, because you have to manage this. Color should not get dry. You'll be always in the edge, so thinking about, okay, what should I do, what if I'm working here and this will get dry. And a lot many times that the color might get like it will look like a muddy and all that. So that's the reason I was just using a very simple. I was not mixing many color. I was just taking simple one single color and I was using it. So I did a lot many of this 3 months. So now moving to this, I was just making the same thing here, but little bigger subject. So so it was giving me an ability to locate the object in a more clear way, and the bigger space, bigger outline to express my creativity. So I moved like this, and I started doing color something like this. Just simply, I mean, I was not spending so much of time and all that, but over the time I worked on this smaller sheet of paper that gave me a lot of understanding about the color mixing, how much color I should take, how I should blend, and all that. So all that thing actually I learned into this. So I was doing something like this. And I think doing something like this given me a lot of opportunity to reflect my creative desire to paint this with this medium, basically. Okay, like this. So I was just making something like this, and I was also waiting for things to get dry. So I'm just letting it dry, and then we'll work on the second layer. So once it was dried, I was just taking, and that's a beautiful part happened when I moved to this second layer when I was working on the bigger sheet of paper, because it was giving me the ability to paint the second layer more effortlessly. I was just simply doing something like this, exactly the way it is. I'm just showing you. And from the beginning itself, I was absolutely making my art similar like this. I was taking a bold color like this, very bold color, and patches, the brush strokes. From the beginning itself, I was doing like this, and I was kind of experimenting. I was just I was just saying that how basically this value reflects into the paper if I'll do certain things. I never intended to make things beautiful. That's the one of the interesting thing I was doing it because I wanted to spoil my artwork, and that was the basically helped me a lot because I never thought that I'm here to make a good art. I just convinced myself that I'm just making this because it makes me happy when I want to learn watercolor. That's all. So something like this I did quite a long time. Basically, I made this sheet of paper before I move even the quarter sheet of paper. This is the half sheet of the quarter. And I was spoiling, like I spoiled a lot of paper like this. I still remember. Uh, Sometimes it was very terrible experience. Emotionally, you'll really feel, you'll feel like, oh, what I'm doing? It's just like, whatever I'm doing, everything is going on waste. What should I do? But actually, it paid off. Okay, so something like this I was just doing in our when I uh, when I moved from this small sheet to the little bigger sheet of the paper. And I almost like, and I spent almost like a 2 3 month again doing all of this. So calculatively everything I spent at least 6 months of doing all that. And I'll tell you, like, doing all this, I got a lot of interest it developed within me. I was feeling, oh my god, I mean, I just did it, and there is a lot of opportunity for me to move into this. And this is exactly, motivated me. Though I have just spoiled a lot of artwork, it just motivated me to move into this. So I move into this, and next video I will show you what exactly I did when I moved from this two to the third one. So I hope you got the sense of my approach. That was an amazing, and this sheet of paper, what you see here, will be even more interesting. What I When I moved, doing 6 months of this kind of a work, and ultimately I moved to the bigger sheet of paper. And I want you to watch that video. I'm going to create the yet another video what I did here, which transformed me into the pro artist. I was able to transform my creativity into the paper. Whatever I wanted to do it, I'm able to do it. I was able to do it in that point of time. So watch that video. I mean, I'm really encourage you to look for that video, and that will give you lots of ideas. Whether how busy schedule you are in a full-time job, you're busy schedule, right? But this is where exactly you need it. Starting from here to here, and then you will be moving to this. So this is my journey, and I'm sure you got something from this. I want you to please support me on Patreon uh, and become a tier member for this, and you'll get a lot of amazing tier benefit available for you, which help you to learn watercolor more effortlessly. So check that out, the link I've given in the description, and I will see you in the next video very soon. Till then, take care, and start realizing your dream to paint watercolor. Take care.